Welcome everyone, Chris here again. In today's video, I want to go over a great insight that I learned early in my journey and that I use all the time. It was super valuable, it was super beneficial for me, and I believe this will be very beneficial for you guys as well. So this idea or this video will kind of go into the idea of shifting beliefs, right? So as many may think of sales, right, or around sales is it's all about pushing, right? You push your products, push your courses, push your services, you name it, right? But this is why I believe that many get it wrong, right? The key is that you don't need to sell harder. You just have to start shifting people's beliefs and showing them the transformation that's there for them and what's possible, right? Like I said, most people just push, right? They try to be more persuasive or they try to have the perfect pitch, you name it, right? But the reality is, people don't really buy because you're telling them to buy, right? Like, if I told you, hey, buy this water bottle, you're probably gonna be like, why? Why should I buy that, right? So, really, you gotta focus on what is the belief that you can change and show them that it's possible for them, right? Because I'll go into detail, right? You want to show the transformation, right? You want to show everything, right? It's kind of goes into the key of showing, don't tell, right? Type of thing. So basically, we'll go into it. I'm going to break down why shifting beliefs is the real key to selling anything and basically how you can integrate this into your business and also your approach in sales. So let's dive in, right? So most sales strategies really just focus on, like I said, pushing a product, pushing whatever, right? Instead of pulling the audience into a new reality, right? Transforming their mindset, transforming their beliefs, transforming them and showcasing it, saying, hey, I've done this. I've been in similar shoes as you. You're dealing with it. It's possible, right? So let's take a step back, right? The problem is usually that most people don't wake up just saying, hey, I need to buy this person's product, right? Like, I need to buy a pen. I need to buy this water bottle. I need to buy this phone, right? You know, they wake up with problems. They wake up with doubts and beliefs that keep them where they are now, right? So if you're not shifting those beliefs, no amount of selling, no amount of pushing or whatever is really going to work on them, right? Like, think about it for a second, right? Someone who believes or tells themselves, I can never lose weight, won't buy a fitness program, right? Even if it's the best fitness program in the world and it'll get you, six-pack abs in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you name it, right? The person that believes, I can't lose weight, I don't like exercising, I struggle with X, Y, and Z, they're not going to buy a fitness program, right? Because already they're defeating themselves mentally and showing and telling themselves that they can't do it, right? Same thing goes with, maybe myself, I'll go into it. I used to say I was never a writer, right? I couldn't write. I'm not great at writing, and I used to push it back a lot, right? And then suddenly, I started realizing, hey, there's other people that have become successful writers and have improved their writing and done X, Y, and Z with it, right? So eventually, for myself, I started to tell myself, hey, I need to shift this belief. I need to tell myself I can do this, I can learn this, and I can grow within it, right? And therefore, I could read books, get courses, you name it, and eventually create that change that I wanted, right? So, in most cases, everything's a mental roadblock that's stopping myself in the past, right? And people in general from taking action. So, how do we solve this, right? Like I said, shifting those beliefs so they can believe in their new belief, right? Focusing on the transformation, right? You have to take people from where they are, right? Dealing with the problem, dealing with doubt, hesitation, limiting beliefs, fear, you name it, to a place where they truly believe that they can do it, right? Where they believe change is possible. They believe the problem that they thought was impossible can actually is a solution for them, right? And they can take that action that they're doing into confidence, right? So, um, back into the example of like the fitness, right? You can say, buy this fitness program, or they say, hey, I've tried everything, nothing works, I can't lose weight, whatever. If they took a step back and you showcase them saying, you know, the reason why you failed or the reason why I failed, right, is because I didn't have the right system in place. Um, and with this system, it's worked for, I don't know, Joe Schmo and, I don't know, Candy Candace or something like that, right? Um, People who are similar like me, and you're showcasing them that it's possible, that belief slowly starts to happen, right? Because they see, hey, I connect with that person. They're very similar to me. They had the same belief system as me, and they were able to get the transformation that I want, right? So, showcasing, showing, showing the transformation can be very powerful, right? It can take time, right? But when you hammer it down a little, right? Double down, keep hitting those points or those emotional points to them, it can become very powerful, right? So, how do we actually do this, right? How do you get people to shift, this mindset before you even ask for like a sale or to buy something, right? Number one, identify what's holding them back, right? What are the limiting beliefs that are stopping them from taking that action, right? What are the fears? What are the doubts, the misconceptions, right? What are keeping them stuck, right? Um, and the best way to do this from, I would say, our side of service providers, brands, business owners, you name it, right, is by obviously listening to our audience, right? So how do we do that? Is have conversations with them, right? Look at their objections from, maybe when you've pitched in the past. What has stopped them from saying yes, basically, right? What has caused them to say no, right? Look at their objections, struggles, excuses, you name it, right? The most important, I'd say one of the best ways to do it is just going straight to the source, right? Having a conversation with them, setting up like a 10-15 minute call, have a list of questions, and just start asking them questions, right? And just get to digest everything, get to understand what is truly holding them back, right? So then from there goes into like basically the second step, right? And that is challenging that old belief, right? Going to sound repetitive, right? Because I'm trying to push this point across to you guys, right? People need proof, right? That their old way of thinking isn't serving them, right? We can get stuck in our own mind. We can get stuck in our own way. Like I could I can go into detail about myself. You can probably think of ideas from your life, right? Of where you got in your own way, right? So, in order to really show the proof, in order to connect with them, to kind of have that storytelling, that have that emotional connection with them, you got to start sharing personal stories, right? If it starts with yourself or if it starts with other people, right? And basically just showcasing how you overcame the same problem or how person A, person B, person C overcame the problem as well, right? This is where, using case studies, using testimonials as well can be very powerful because you can say, hey, A, I did it with myself, right? So I'm living proof. B, I helped Joe Schmo do it, right? So I know this works for people and I was able to get these results for him, right? And at the end of the day, you're able to reveal this new information, like these new facts to them in a way where they can slowly see that change is possible, right? And the transformation is possible, right? And that they can take that step back and realize, hey, maybe my approach to all this has been wrong. Maybe let me take a second to listen to what this person is saying, and then from there slowly start showcasing more and more, right? Um, and that goes into the next part, right? Which is basically like painting a picture, right? Paint the new reality, right? Show them what's possible, make them feel like success is within their reach, right? And they can grab it and they can take it, and prove that they can, take that action and get those results, right? Because once that belief shifts, they basically sell themselves into any solution, right? So I would say like take a look at big brands and try to use their strategies, right? From the top of my head, you can say like Apple, for example, with like their iPhones, right? They always talk about like on the camera aspect about like being a creative, innovative person and being like a photographer to capture those beautiful moments, right? So maybe someone who says like, "Oh, I'm not a great photographer. I take shitty photos or something like that." They're trying to push that and saying like, with our device, right? With our product, you can be creative, you can be innovative, and you can be that photographer if you want, right? Um, yeah. Um, Sorry. So remember, it's never really about the product. It's really about the people and the belief systems that they have towards your product, right? And also towards themselves. So, you know, if you've been struggling to sell your product, service, offer, you name it, right? Just ask yourself, are you convincing people to buy, right? Or are you shifting their beliefs so that the sale happens naturally and they can connect to those belief systems that you're trying to shift and the stories that you're telling and the proof that you're showing, all that, right? Um, take some time to digest it. Might have been a longer video, might have been a lot of information, but really hammer this down and really try to implement this with your messaging, your marketing, your sales approach, everything, right? So, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Subscribe, like, any support, I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and peace.